Hi, sneak peekers. I don't know if you can tell, but I love FNAF.
And I'm a neutral FNAF respecter, and we watched FNAF 2 in theaters this Saturday.
FNAF was a fun watch. As an avid FNAF and horror fan, I think this movie hit so many marks for true FNAF fans. We saw Shadow Bonnie, Baby, and even heard Freddy's iconic horror, horror, horror. But if we get into the actual movie portion, it definitely fell a bit short.
I may not be extremely familiar with the FNAF universe besides the game theory videos from 10 years ago, but I definitely agree with the fan reception. If the script sounds flat, it is because it mostly does the job of calling back to the themes and characters from the franchise. So even if I didn't necessarily get why the Charlotte thing is such a big deal, the fans around me felt differently. The film is short and they spend a lot of time explaining why and where we are, which diminishing its ability to sound profound. Is it a bad thing? Absolutely not. There's one thing that FNAF 2 does well is self-consciousness. The social aspects in it are cringeworthy when not lazy, ranging from exaggerated careless adults in the opening sequence to the fascist science teacher, but they always feel like the fastest way to create conflict, leading us to exactly what we want to see, the animatronics.
I somewhat agree with you. Scott Cawthon, the actual creator of the FNAF games, was the main screenwriter for this movie. Although he's a genius when it comes to creating video games, I think the writing definitely shows that the film isn't his primary art form. In turn, the writing felt very animated, like I'm watching a free roam video game that takes place in our world, which also meant that the dialogue was interesting. Considering this film was rated PG-13, I think that many of the exaggerated or even cringy aspects really leaned into that. And personally, I think those aspects are what make the movie so fun to watch.
Yeah, I mentioned this when we left the movie theater, but the CGI was really good. Apparently, these were practical effects for the animatronics, and they looked awesome. If the sound effects were a little exaggerated, and maybe that was why I immediately thought the whole thing was just computer graphics, yet it felt refreshing to see actors interact directly with these figures and added a much-needed quality standard to an otherwise mediocre production.
Watching the animatronics was my favorite part. Seeing my fave Chica roam around the city was like a dream come true. And you know what? I think Megan Fox's voice acting was great. She sounded sweet and charming with a hint of evil possessed child. At first I was skeptical since Megan Fox's voice has so much sultry to it, but honestly she nailed it. Wait, also, MatPat voicing Bonnie had me geeking out. In the first FNAF film, he was the waiter, but this time he was given a pivotal role.
Yeah, but I can still not get over that messy, rushed ending. I have so many questions about what happened. Where did the other animatronics came from to save the day? Who's even the Michael guy? And why is it not Josh Hutcherson? Couldn't they just find another name? Why was Mike so mean to Vanessa and now like she's evil? What we do about it? Who's the child? The climax is as messy as it gets, and there's barely any movie after it. You're simply left waiting for FNAF 3 to come out whenever that happens. Speaking of which, there are post-credit sequences to introduce a new film, and I was excited to see Springtrap there because it was my favorite game to watch other people playing when I was 10.
Well, if you really want to get into it, Michael is William's son, and in the games, Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton are the same person, but in the movie, you know what? This review is running a bit long. So, if you're a FNAF lover, the semantics and logistical stuff won't matter. So, have fun with it and don't take it too seriously. If you have any thoughts, tag us at Sneak Peek TV on Instagram, and we'll see you after this commercial break.